We have what's called just-in-time calving. Every hour, the close-up group is inspected to find cows that are calving. Those cows are then put on the straw. Within 15 minutes of the baby being born, we remove the calf from the cow and put them in a blanket to dry them off with a heat lamp. And then we milk the cow and feed the calf, and then the cow goes back into the close-up group, maybe for anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. And that's very good for reducing the stress on the cow, because she goes back in with the cows so she does not have to re-socialize. And the calves are born without immune systems. If they stay with the cow, their chances of getting sick are higher because they're exposed to more bacteria. The health of the calf is to get into a clean environment where we can feed them the proper nutrition twice a day. Our basic goal, healthy lungs, healthy stomach. So we want to provide clean air, clean water. We want a good growth rate, but achieving the highest growth rate is not the primary goal. The health of the calf is the primary goal. We have in the past fed our calves 3 times a day and increased the powder, but we did not see any increase in performance of the calves or any decrease in sickness, which is contrary to the research done in the U.S. But our own experience has been that 2.5 liters of powder, of milk replacer powder, 2 times a day seems to be the optimum for us. And on antibiotics on the cows, we used to treat all mastitis with an antibiotic, but we found that the treatments were not as effective as they once were maybe 20 years ago. And our government has reduced the choices of products that we used to have. So they've taken a lot of things off the market and said, no, you cannot use these for lactating cows. So we found that our mastitis protocols were not working as well as they once were. So a new protocol came out and said, well, a lot of these cows will heal on their own, and so give them some hypertonic saline to dehydrate the cow, and then use fluids and polylights in the vein to rehydrate the cow, along with 38 liters of water that we pump into the stomach. That has yielded better results than using antibiotics on our farm. And so for 28 months now, we have not treated a lactating cow, with any antibiotic, which we're very proud of. That does not mean that everything goes perfect. That just means that we're trying to find different ways without antibiotics to help the cow recover. We milk all cows 3 times a day right till we dry them up. If a cow is milking more than 40 liters and it's time to dry them up, we'll milk them for another week. But typically the cows are milking maybe 25 liters, and we just go cold turkey, what we call cold turkey. We just stop milking them. We give them the antibiotic at dry treat, at dry off, and then the withdrawal on that is 42 days. Our cell count for last year averaged 180,000, so it bounces between, say, 160,000 in the winter to 200,000 in the summertime. By not using antibiotics and putting every cow in, our cell count maybe would be higher than another farm, but every single cow's milk is being marketed. 3 years ago, we decided that we wanted to reduce the antibiotics that we used on dry cows. So at dry off, we were in the past had been giving them every single cow dry treat. Then we went to a system where only cows over 200,000 cell count at dry off were getting the antibiotic, and the other cows, no antibiotic, just stop milking them, dry them up. We saw very negative results from this program. Our cows that were very low cell count at dry off came in with higher cell counts than the cows that had high cell counts that we used dry treat. So after 3 or 4 months of this, we stopped and went back to what we were doing. And I think it's much more effective. Antibiotics are very effective at dry off. Even though we were not seeing the results of using antibiotics, positive results in the milking cows, we still feel that it's very good practice at dry off. Our cheese plant in the U.S. Told us to stop using the teat sealers because many of the blocks of cheese had the little black specks from the teat sealer end up in the cheese, and the customers really they would reject the cheese. The teat sealers are, for whatever reason, they would stay actually in the cow for 3 or 4 milkings, 5 milkings, 6 milkings, apparently because it was ending up in the cheese. So, and the other thing about the teat sealers, we did not see any difference. I don't think it was very effective, and it's also very expensive. The teat sealers cost more in the U.S. than the antibiotics, so it makes no sense. The best tip I can give for the dairymen in Europe, Holland, in Europe, now that there's no quota system, you'll see price variation. Price variation should not be feared, it should be taken advantage of. Try to expand and buy things when they're very cheap. Cash in and sell a lot when the price is very high. You will see this 3 or 4 year cycle, and it could be extended now at first, but I believe that we will get back into a 3-year cycle. This has really helped us in our operation. We try to expand in the worst year and try to have lots to sell in the best year. You have to change your thinking now to take advantage of the low in the cycle and to take advantage of the high in the cycle.